Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I am your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from superheroes from Marvel Comics to DC Comics and much, much more of different type of movies that you can imagine. We review it on here on Great Talk and Entertainment. And of course, like I said, we review TV shows, and if you haven't seen them yet, don't worry because they're on their way. Just be on the lookout. I got you. So, before we get started, please subscribe to Great Talk and Entertainment on YouTube. Hit that notification button. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Or when you go to work or school or whatever, just let somebody who loves to hear reviews about movies and TV shows and much, much more like things like that. Let them know to go to Great Talk and Entertainment on YouTube. So please help me support me. Help me grow, so I can give you guys much, much more content in the future, from now to forever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, and thank you. Now, this is a continuing review for the new Disney Plus show, Marvel What If. Now, this is episode 6, and I will be reviewing the episode, so this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, please leave. Give me some thumbs up. Go check out the Marvel What If show on Disney Plus, and then come back, listen to the podcast, and then tell me what you think in the comments below. So, thank you. Now, in Marvel's episode 6, it's called What If Killmonger Rescues Tony Stark. Now, in this one, this has the movie Iron Man 1 and Black Panther. Now, it doesn't have the whole movie of Black Panther, just pretty much what you would remember for Killmonger's origin story that was told in the Black Panther movie. Iron Man 1 is the biggest movie that is really contained and gets a lot of reference from in this show. So it's pretty much the whole movie Iron Man 1 being told again in a 30-minute show or whatever, how long that each episode runs. And it's basically like, what if Tony Stark never became Iron Man? What if he didn't get captured? Killmonger saved Tony Stark. So the first plot you see is Killmonger has some agenda against, like Black Panther, against him for the obvious reasons. And it's the same reasons that he wanted to take over Wakanda. Now, spoilers alerts. Again, I'm going to spoil Iron Man 1 and the Black Panther movie. So, in the Black Panther movie, obviously, Killmonger's dad has betrayed Wakanda, was selling vibranium weapons that is made by the Wakandians, and he was trying to get people who don't live in Wakanda the access to come to Wakanda and share the same knowledge. But obviously, T'Challa's dad and his whole family, who's been holding the legacy of the Black Panther, never wanted to share that. And that's still the same story in episode 6. But this one's a little bit twist. This is where he earns Tony Stark's trust, gets full access to the company, where I believe in the episode he even owns half the company, I believe. Well, not owns it, but he had got the same position Happy would have got. Well, he did get in the Iron Man movie, but instead of Happy, it's Killmonger. And the one thing I got out of it is they had a lot of callbacks from the robot that Killmonger wanted to build, which he named it Libriel, and he wanted to basically make a what do you call those? A Gundam type. And these are the same ones that you see in Iron Man 2. Yes, it's the same robot. So it's basically like I said, it's like Tony Stark never became Iron Man thanks to Killmonger. He stopped the whole algorithm to that, basically. He stopped the whole destination, the whole consequences. And another thing about this shows like, what if Killmonger did succeed in taking over Wakanda? You know, in the Black Panther movie, this they showed like the consequences of him failing and going down that path. This is where he's getting rewarded for his success of taking over Wakanda, because in this episode, while he's also tricking Tony Stark, Tony Stark, and he tricked General Ross and the whole military, basically America, and he tricked Wakanda at the same time. So they went in to battle each other while using these custom-made Gundam like robots that Tony Stark helped make for Killmonger. And what's crazy about this is I, and this is what I really like about this episode for me was it's like he's one of my favorite like villain characters that it was so interesting to watch in Black Panther, and it just made me want more of to know more of that character and to see more. Now I know in Black Panther, they killed him. He died, and well, that's what it looked like. But you never know; they might bring him back. But that's not the point. But it just made me so. It made me more intrigued to want to learn more about that character, like I said. And it's so cool to see Michael B. Jordan reprising that role in this Marvel What If series. And I gotta say, like, I know what like I said earlier was like in the Black Panther movie, he died basically. But I hope that like, I'm wrong. I hope that maybe he didn't get killed. Maybe T'Challa like kept him iced up like Steve Rogers was, and like Bucky Barnes was too. And it shows that even then, like after Killmonger, successfully takes over Wakanda, and he drinks the vibranium of the flower. I forget the name of the flower, but he drinks it, and he goes to this like sleep, because in the movie Black Panther explains once they do this ritual for the ceremony after winning the battle. If you live, you're Black Panther, but if this thing kills you, you dead. And he lives obviously, and he has the same dream that T'Challa had in Black Panther, where all you see is Africa at night, bunch of Black Panthers on the tree, which it just reminds me of the Lion King in that particular scene. But it's the same thing, and T'Challa's like, you might have won, you might have, because he killed Black Panther and Rhodey and the when they were going to the black market of to get some vibranium. That's one of the things that he tried to trick Tony Stark, but obviously Tony Stark made sure Jarvis was keeping an eye on him. But but T'Challa's in like in the afterlife basically, and he's like, you might have won, but power and like revenge or hatred or whatever. I can't remember the quote, but he basically saying it's gonna catch him, it's gonna bite him in the ass, basically. And obviously they didn't have that ending of that happening to him where it all karma comes back at him. But obviously, like they've been doing through all the Marvel What If episode, is always a cliffhanger. But obviously, like I was saying earlier, that he killed Black Panther, Rhodey, which is War Machine. He killed Tony Stark, and so that also prevents the Avengers Endgame and much more. So he's won, and he's got it. But then this leads me to my first theory. What if Age of Ultron could be returning in this series? Because we know in like the posters of the Marvel What If, you see like Vision with like an Ultron type armor. Now, the reason why I bring this up, these are like the villains, like the Sinister Six type feel, where it's like, okay, we see the heroes villain win basically, but what if the villains are winning in a way? What if your favorite Marvel characters are not there, or they take a different path? And with these different paths leads up to like these villains who maybe passed away or died on the movie or show. But what if, certain events didn't happen where like Killmonger is succeeding, where like Red Skull could be alive, You just don't know. And this is I think like they're gonna have an Age of Ultron type episode. And this is gonna be like pretty close to a Dark Avengers team up. But like I said, doesn't mean that these theories are gonna be true. But I had a theory like, okay, if they do go this way, where I think they're going, this could be an evil villain team up, where they're doing Avengers styles, but it's evil villains. Your certain favorite Marvel characters, like, if Doctor Strange is Imperial Doctor Strange, he's kind of like the villain at this point. Yes, I know he's trapped in his own crystallized bubble and he feels like crap for doing it, but now he probably wants to get revenge. I don't know, but I think Age of Ultron is making a return, and the reason why is I think that because in this episode, it's since Killmonger exposed a lot of people in the Stark industry that set up Tony Stark to get killed. They got exposed as soon as Tony Stark came back home. And then, like I said, the robots that Tony Stark helped make for Killmonger to take over Wakanda are the same robots you see in Iron Man 2. And, since in this, Tony Stark never got a harsh reality of the company he really owns slash works for, and he never grew and mature. He stayed wild, somewhat of alcoholic, party animal, party animal, basically. But he never came Iron Man. He never wanted to grow up. He never wanted to save the world. This is where like since this is could be where like Hydra is the shield, Killmonger is it well now Black Panther. It's people you don't think these villains are taking over. So like this could lead up to a Thanos episode where Thanos does win. He does succeed the whole snap, and this shows how would life had to move on while Thanos chills at his little condo or his resting spot, basically. So yeah, that's another theory I thought that it can do. So that was theory 2. But theory 3 is, what if Killmonger wanted the 10 rings? Now, I had a theory that whenever they continue this story, if they do in this season or maybe in the next season in the future, what if Killmonger wanted more? And, I wouldn't say the Infinity Stones, but what if since he's more of a ground character, and I'm not saying he couldn't get the gauntlet and all that, but I had a theory that they could make an episode where Killmonger got the 10 rings, which you see they're different now in the live action in the movie Shang-Chi. Spoilers if you haven't seen that. But instead of the actual rings, because in the comic books the 10 rings were legit rings, but in this one they're more like a wristband that's a weapon, a deadly weapon, and it pretty much goes all the way up to your arm because it makes multiple rings. I can see them making an episode Killmonger taking that. I just think like he's gonna take Wakanda and take everything of it, and like he said, he's gonna give back to the lost people of his brothers and sisters. who he feels like he needs to avenge for. So throughout the bad history of the Wakandan style of living over there. So I can see that too. Theory number three. I think Shuri, who is, I noticed in this episode, she's more of a child or preteen or teenager. But I had a theory: what if Shuri either becomes Ironheart or makes some type of Iron Man suit, or even make a suit for Pepper Potts to be the Iron Man but be Iron Woman? I can see that's a theory I thought because of the ending scene after almost the ending scene, I should say, where Shuri meets Pepper Potts and they are going to expose Killmonger for all the lies and evil stuff that he did. So that's a theory. And the reason why I can see that is because Shuri, she's very smart, very intelligent. You can see that. And she knows how to make awesome suits. And I wouldn't be surprised. And since they are kind of getting ready to do the Ironheart series on the Disney Plus, this would be the right time to kind of start promoting that and dropping hints that Ironheart does exist now. Be on the lookout for that. Stuff like that I could see. And another reason I can see them doing a Pepper Potts is, we got a little glimpse of what that suit looks like in the Avengers Endgame, but we never saw a full fight scene or whole action scene or some sort with her actually rocking that suit. And I think Marvel's What If is the perfect thing for. Those are my theories. Tell me, guys, what you think about those, and leave those in the comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments. So, another thing I want to bring up is I noticed it's the Watcher for this show. He's becoming more clear and more seeable. And this is the one Watcher character that actually interferes in comic book. And I think his name is Watch something, but I forgot the name. Let me know what the name is. Put the name in the comment section, please. Help a brother out. Thanks. So, I think the Watcher's he's getting closer and closer, and I think he's really a big part of this series, and I wonder if he is going to interfere, but what would he interfere in? Because in this one, he showed some concern with Killmonger, and I think it's like the tease to say, okay, now this is this guy, this dude or God, Celestial, who's been watching in outer space somewhere. He's actually going to interfere, and he showed a lot of concern. But when will he do it? It's either going to be this next episode, or it's going to be the last on the season finale. So who knows? But I think he's going to be interfere at some point. But I wonder what. I think this thing has to be a big event. Maybe this ain't a big event for him to actually interfere, but it was enough for him to be concerned of how Killmonger or is right now. So it'll be interesting to see that. But if I had to give this episode 1 out of 10, I'd give it an 8. It was one of their better episodes. Um, yes, they're still playing it safe, but I'm slowly but surely understanding why, and I'm getting the point. Like I said, you just don't. They're not just gonna introduce new Marvel characters that we're hoping to see. They're gonna save that for the cinematic movies in theaters and so forth and so forth. So I'm definitely giving it an 8. It was a real show, and you guys should definitely keep on watching and more Marvel movies. So thank you for listening, guys. Please subscribe to my podcast. And thank you so much for supporting me. Peace out.